Hello, Sim fans. Sim Fanatic with you once again. This time bringing you the Fanatec ClubSport V3 version 3 pedals. I'm super excited to be getting these. I've waited about 3 weeks, ordered about 3 weeks ago. So I'm going to do a quick unboxing. But even more importantly, stay tuned because what I'm going to show all of you, if you don't have several $100s to drop into a rack or a mount system, it's a real easy DIY that you can make and mount for these pedals that will save you some dough and make it more sturdy. So more coming to you. Stay tuned. All right, Sim fans. So before we get started, I know on another video I posted, many of you probably don't know this. I'm a huge craft beer fan. I do a lot of hobbies. One of them is craft brewing. I haven't done it for a while, I'll be honest, but love craft beers. And I also love bourbon. So I thought to kick us off, I'd start with one that is Elijah Craig, a really great bourbon. And it's one of the better values. So you can see I don't have a whole lot there left. So 94 proof, so it'd be 47%. And small batches, you can pick yourself up a bottle. For those of you that have like a Costco or Sam's, you can probably find it for $23, $24. And then at most stores, I think you can find it for under $30. So definitely recommend it. So anyway, we got to partake in a little bit of, treats every once in a while for those of you that are out of age. So, but anyway, so welcome. I'm excited to show you this video in terms of unboxing. And then also the DIY piece where just with simple 2x4 that you can pick up for maybe $6 or less at Lowe's, and a few screws and the bolts that come with the Fanatec pedals. You can mount it, make it really rigid and sturdy, bump it up against your baseboard, against your wall, as long as your desk is against that, and really will save you a lot of money, because I know I've been looking at mounting the stands and that. And I did have one for my G920, and you can drop even on a cheaper stand. If you want anything that's at least decent, you can easily drop, 180 plus, all the way up to one I was looking at was really sturdy and rigid. I could also mount the wheel, so that would be nice as well. But I've got mine hooked up to the desk here, and it's been fine. I do need a new desk. One of you had pointed out I can spend a lot of money on sim equipment, but my desk, I do need an upgrade, and I agree. So hopefully at some point I can do that. But in any case, let's get started. Let's break this bad boy out of here. See what it's all about. Sim fans, let's see. I debated. There is I think it's the CSL Elite pedals. And I did get, as you've probably seen another posting, I have the CSL Elite wheel. But as far as the pedals, the things that I was reading is that these pedals are definitely worth it. They actually have a motor on the accelerator. There's actually a motor on the, I think it's the clutch, or maybe it's the brake, one of the two. And so it actually gives you some force feedback within the pedal itself, which is pretty cool. Plus there's some different styling in that, but let's go ahead and slide it out of the box. I do like the fact Honeycomb does this too, where they put it in a box to ship it so that the box inside is protected. So, that's kind of smashed in, but I don't think that's going to hopefully be any big deal. But there we go. Ooh, that's not good, is it? Well, let's hope it's all right. Let's open it up and see. One thing I just got done saying, and I don't see any damage to the box itself. So let's hope that's not an indication of any kind of problem. I don't think it should be. But as you have your standard instructions, quick guide, looks like some stickers, decals if you want to put on there. Another pedal. Assume there would be, not sure why they're all taped so close to it, but a couple, 3 pedals as you would expect. Nice heavy braided cable for plugging the wheels, or the pedals, into the wheel by USB. And then there's it looks like an old phone. Can't think of the It's not RJ45, obviously, but the smaller cable to hook this cable I suspect would hook directly into the Fanatec wheel, and then a USB cable, heavy duty cable, if you want to plug it directly into your USB port on your computer. Probably giving you a higher refresh rate, resolution, all that good stuff. So put that over there. And yeah, I think what happened is something smashed, somebody stepped on it, but there's a, oh yeah, that's pushed through. So it doesn't seem normal to me that would be, somebody probably stepped on the box. Let's just hope that it's intact and it's not going to be damaged. I have to say, I've been up to this point really impressed with their packaging, but that doesn't look so good. And that looks like that happened before the thing was even boxed up and shipped, because there's no damage at all to this box. So that had to be factory, not to the shipper, but at Fanatec themselves. Because if somebody's stepping on that, would that bend something or cause damage? And hopefully not. But there it is, pretty straightforward. It's already got the plates. It's already got the pedals here. These can be replaced with these if you prefer. I'll take one out here. So if you so choose, you can put a different type of pedal on these if you want. So kind of nice that they'll interchange there. So I don't think it looks like any damage has happened to this. Again, it looks like somebody stepped on the box and that went right through the box. And even this thing, I'm pretty anal, as you can tell, when it comes to that sort of thing. But it looks like they're okay. So I'll turn this around. Very, very heavy. Notice each pedal plugs into here. So there's a kind of sort of a hub for these to plug into. Which I'd suspect then you'd have, there's the connector port for that. And USB, if you want to hook them out USB. And then, of course, here we've got, hopefully you can see this, we've got the motors that give vibration, some feedback there. So yeah, which makes sense. And the clutch I like is it kind of gives that feel of all of a sudden when you push a clutch in, you have that kind of resistance and then just a give point. Okay, so Sim fans, that was the unboxing of the Fanatec pedals, ClubSport pedals. They really are good. I must say, I made a comment about the box being stepped on. It had to be stepped on, not a big deal. I'm a little bit paranoid about this. Probably more anal than I need to be, and probably more than most. It wasn't that big a deal. I tested my pedals out. They all were fine. All look good and intact. I mean, the pedals are so solid and sturdy. I think it would take a lot more than just somebody stepping on the box and having one of the points in the pedals break through it. So no big deal. So I wanted to make a comment about that because after I got them out, tested them out last night, and then of course while I was mounting them and that, no damage was there. And I must say that Fanatec does a superb job at boxing. There's mistakes that happen. I'm sure it wasn't obviously not intentional or anything like that. But in any case, when you spend $400, though, you expect everything to come completely intact with no damage to anything, not even the box. But again, I'm anal. So, but the next piece here I'll be showing you is mounting the thing up to 2x4. I got 3 sections of 2x4. I'm going to go through this. It's super, super simple, straightforward. It's easy and it's cheap. And if you want something, even if you're like kind of saving up for a actual mount or, a stand or something like that for your pedals and your wheel, you could even just go to Lowe's, like I said, get a 2x4 that's, even 6 feet would do it. And, but that wouldn't be a standard, right? 8 foot standard 2x4. But anyway, and for like $6, you could do this. It didn't take me that long. Okay, and before I get started, I do want to give credit where credit is deserved. And YouTube, we're all here, hopefully, and maybe not all, but to help each other out and give credit where credit is due. So I want to do a call out to Danny Lee, and I'll post a link below. I got this idea for creating this mount by him, and so I will link the video there. Definitely appreciate Danny's post because I took advantage of it and used it, and I'm showing all of you here that have subscribed or maybe run across this video on how to do this, and so I do need to give credit to Danny Lee. So check out his channel, and I'll post a link below. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with building this thing. Wanted to show first what needs to be done. So if I bring this up, should be able to see there are these two holes here, and then on the bottom there's 2 holes in the bottom. So we got 4 holes to mount, and we'll do that making just a simple 2x4 frame. And then here are the bolts that you get with a hex screw and standard bolt there. Now, the tip I got from the video that I'll link below, they actually show this screwing into the 2x4. And after I ran to Lowe's, I thought, you know what, I should have got just some longer bolts, maybe like, 1 3/4 and with a couple of washers and a nut, 4 nuts, a few washers and some bolts, and just did it all the way through the board. Probably be a better, more solid snug fit, but I don't know. I'll try this, see how it works, see how it feels. So I might post another video if this doesn't feel firm enough for me, but we'll see how this works. And hey, why not try it, right? The next step I would strongly advise is to get your distance that you want from your wall, because what we're going to do is we're going to have that base frame rest up against the baseboard, against the wall. So measure out kind of what feels good to you, from your wheel to where your pedals are. Now, I actually went out and measured my pedals for my wheel in our Accurate TL, and it was 26 inches from the brake, and I think 27 inches from the accelerator to the wheel, to the bottom of the wheel. So what that came out for my desk setup, of course, it's going to be different for all of us depending on the length of the desk or depth of the desk. Mine came out to 20 inches, but I saw another posting. The guy did it at 17 inches, 44 centimeters. So I'm going to give this a try. It seems to feel like a pretty good fit for me. All right. And time for another cut. Sure these match up. Say they match up. All right. We're going to take these red screws off. I would recommend pulling this straight up, and now we can see the holes and we can get these lined up. And what I'm planning on doing is I'm just going to use this as a square. So I use this as a square to make sure when I bump it up against the wall, it's going to set flush against the baseboard, because if you don't have it flush against the baseboard, probably not going to work so great. And then we want these to be flush here. And I'm going to move these so it's just on the edge. Again, I don't know. I'm kind of anal about this stuff, so I like it to match up just right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark. There is a template, by the way, that comes with this. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark it with a pencil. This will work. This should work better. Not as much room to work here. Okay, so I've got figured out which drill bit I needed. By the way, if you're wondering, the one that matched, at least for the bolts I got, is the 5/16 bit. So that is the one you want. So now moment of truth. I think I've got these lined up. Oh, well, I did here. That's looking good. Okay, 1 bolt in. Okay. All right. Just want to be careful because, I mean, these screws I don't think are really meant to bite into wood. I think this is going to work out fine. Okay. Last but not least, we got to finish off the back part. So I'm just going to simply measure this and make this super easy and just put that up flush right there. Okay, so now as you can see, I'm just going to line this up with the back piece here, nice and flush. And then I'm just going to make a mark for where I need to cut this one. One thing you want to do is before you put the heel plate back on is connect your USB, because I mean, you could still flip it around, no big deal, and get in, but it might be just easier to do that before putting the face plate back on. So I'll get that done now. All right, so here we go. All mounted. Okay, sim fans, well, this concludes this video. Thank you for sticking around. Hopefully it's helped you. Hey, you can get by cheap doing an easy mount made out of by a 2x4. I can't think of an easier way to make a solid base. You know, these pedals by Fanatec are wonderful. They are not meant to be just placed on your floor, carpet or wood floor, even though they have like this rubberized padding on the bottom of them. If you push on the brake pedal, you'll be fine if you do the accelerator and the and the clutch. But if you push on that brake pedal, it's going to kind of tend to flip over, not completely, mind you, but it will pop up and it'll move around. This is going to keep it solid, and it's a cheap way. Like I said, you can do this for like $6. So if this has been helpful to you, please subscribe. And do a like on the video, and we'll see you next time for more tips, tricks, reviews, and more. Thanks, sim fans. Take care.